and the Bible will never make sense to you. Another talking point that I see a lot of non-believers try to bring up is the scripture where God says, I create light and I create darkness, I create good and I create evil, I create all things, right? And ultimately, they try to use this as a way to play on, again, God's morality in saying that God intentionally purposed for evil to enter the world. He intentionally created good and evil to create some kind of false balance, and then he punishes us for the evil that he created. And again, this is some intellectual dishonesty because in reading that scripture, you fully understand what God is saying, where he's saying that by creating light, I have defined what darkness is. So I've given it definition. By creating good and saying what is good and defining what good is, I've also defined what not good is. Because if I say anything on the right side is good and anything on the left side is bad, I've given description to what each of those nouns are, each of those adjectives are, meaning those labels. Let me say that right. That means anything on the right side is the good side. Anything on the left side is not. For example, if we look at where I am now, I am in a very dark room. You can't see anything. All you can do is hear. That means darkness has no bounds, no limits. There is literally no definition to where it can and cannot go. It is everywhere. But as I turn on the light, the darkness is pushed into the shadows, right? And the shadows are clearly outlined. If I turn this camera around and you see there is a clear definition of where the darkness is. There's a clear outline and limit to where the darkness can be. And that clear outline and limit gives clear description and clarity as to what is light and what is not light. The same can be said for good and evil. When God created the 10 commandments and gave those to the people, he clearly outlined what was good and everything outside of that was evil. He gave definition to what evil was, which is why I always say that the 10 commandments and all of those ceremonial laws from the Old Testament are consecrative laws. They're sanctification laws because they're setting people apart in order to define them as God's people away from the people of the world. I've said it before and I'll continue to say, the Bible makes sense to those with sense. If you don't have sense,